Attitude. They say your attitude determines your latitude. Your attitude is the key determining factor. If you hang around people with a bad attitude, there is no one that can help a man with a bad attitude. But if you hang around people with a good attitude, always everyone seems enthusiastic and they always want to gravitate towards the person who's got the best attitude. But do you know what attitude really is? Do you know what it means? The next lesson is going to give you an insight, which is going to show you exactly and give you a true definition of what the word attitude means. They call it the magic word, and it must be a magic word for sure. For you will find out after the lesson what it is really they mean when they say attitude. So enjoy. Very insightful. Attitude. Attitude, by definition, is a combination of one, thoughts, feelings, and action. So it's a 3-in-1 subject. But where it starts off from is what are your thoughts. So we'll go back to the statement. It will guide us into understanding simply and clearly what attitude is all about. With the statement, we say the biggest circle at the top, the small circle at the bottom. You join the two, the bigger circle at the top, clip it in half, you give it arms, you give it legs. The top part is your conscious mind. The bottom part is your subconscious mind. And this one, the bottom circle, is your body. What this simply means is that whatever you are going to do has nothing to do with your conscious mind. It has everything to do with your subconscious mind. What are those programs that you harbor in your subconscious mind? In terms of your money, in terms of your relationships, in terms of your health, in terms of your experience of life. What are those programs like? You need to take a deep introspective exercise into looking into yourself to really establish how these programs came to be. So everything starts off from thought. What is it that you hear? For adults, these are where your 5 senses are resident. They're picking information from the world, news, friends, family. Even right now, you can hear me, you can see me because you're using 2 of those senses to gather the information that is coming out of my mouth so that you can store it within you, so that it can change you. Never mind if I'm right or wrong. If your mind is telling you that maybe I'm wrong, just change your perspective and think for a second, what if I'm right? Imagine how your life is going to change. Because my life did, and I believe deep down in my psyche that I can change yours too with this information. Because everything that you have known to this point has led you to where you are right now. You might be stuck, you might be ill, you might not be enjoying so much financial success. In fact, you might be suffering from a broken relationship, a broken heart, or a broken pocket. What is it that you are looking for that is going to resolve all that? Is a deeper understanding of these subjects so that you make educated and understanding decisions, right? So that you can be able to move into the world obeying the laws that govern the universe. That is the one thing that is only going to make permanent change in your life. You might be knowing whatever you knew and you might have enjoyed success that you might have enjoyed, but all of a sudden everything seemed to have been falling apart and you don't have the answers. These are the answers that explain those strange phenomena that you might think, okay, I thought I had it all, but I lost it all. Why is that? Because of the programming that you harbor in your subconscious mind. So let's take a step back and see how those programs are formed in the first place. Predominantly, people come into this world. We don't have a choice of the parents that we are born to. We're born without a choice of which skin color we're born to. No choice of choosing religion. No choice at all. We just appeared here and started living life. But as we are living life, or as we have lived life ever since we arrived into this world, we've got the power. That's the part that I want you to understand. We've got the power to make choices, to make our lives better. But the greatest misconception is that people don't seem to have a clue of how then they can change their lives for the better. They don't seem to know exactly what they need to be doing to change their life. That's why Success Elementary is here to give you the information, to give you the tools, to give you proof of how these things, how this information has been used. I've used it myself. I know the power of this information. And I'm teaching quite a whole lot of other people who are experiencing serious transformation with their lives. And so, now that we came into this world as young minds, these are kids, infants. They come into this world with their subconscious mind wide open. So they come genetically modified already. They've got genetic conditioning. Let's call this genetics. That's from 0 to 3. As those kids grow from 3 to 7, now they're starting to become conscious of who they are. But see, that open mind is now a closed mind. But what has been closed inside is more of what has been happening in their environment. So now they've got a mixture of genetic conditioning and their environment. So this is genetics in green, and this is their environment. It's now a mindset. They've already been set. When the word set is being used, picture how cement sets when it is mixed with water. So you came in here with the ingredients to absorb. You absorbed your environment. And then that chemical reaction of your genetic conditioning and your environmental conditioning created a mindset. But what is that mindset? You possess today as you've been moving through life. We have to go back in time and really start by analyzing yourself as an infant, as far back as you can remember. It's a job that can be done by anyone who is listening to this tape right now. Go back and really understand what your mindset is. Is it the one which is a negative mindset, or is it the one of positivity? How do you know that your mind is set in a negative way? How do you know that your thoughts are negative? Most cases, fear plus doubt. We say there is nothing wrong with fear. It's how you deal with it. Fear helps us progress. Fear is key indicators that we are moving in the right direction. But do you know how to overcome fear? It's an art. You need to master it. You need to master it with what? You need to master it with knowledge. How do you get knowledge? You study. If you're not studying, most of the people I've met a couple of friends whom I went to school with, they stopped studying themselves or any material that has anything to do with themselves. Is your mind set on the negative side, or it's set for positivity? Are you set for growth? Or you're set for disintegration? Because in a minute you will know exactly where your mindset is. If you're fearful, understand fear is a good indicator for moving in the right direction because it gives you courage. Remember, we talked of the law of polarity. There is no positive without a negative. There is no inside without an outside. There is no up without a down. So it's by law things are like that. There is night and day. So fear is a good thing. I'm not saying fear is a bad thing, but how then do you overcome fear? Fear born out of growth is good fear. Fear born out of limitation and lack is terrible because it cripples you. It keeps you in bondage because you're never going to be open-minded to see anything different or to understand things differently. You are stuck to your old ways of limitation. You are stuck to your old ways of lack. As soon as you think of a good idea, you want to go and jump in and do something, in your mind you tell yourself, but I don't have the money, I don't have the car. That's a negative mindset. Out of ignorance is born fear and doubt and limitation and lack. On a subconscious level, we call it worry. Is most of your life a worried life? Is most of your life a worried life? Are you always worried about something? The uncertainties of life. Don't forget that you are a God. You can create anything that you want to create. You have been given the 6 mental faculties. The law that God used to create your very existence has been passed down to you to do the same, to multiply and have dominion over everything that you see today. Plants and animals do not have the 6 mental faculties. You are the only human being that has got the 6 mental faculties. Imagination, reason, perception. No animal imagines anything. It's either fight or flight. That's the animal's mind state. You turn off the lights, they're in a primal mode, they're hunting. They kill each other mercilessly without even thinking how is that other animal going to feel. They don't even, conceptualize that because they have not been given the 6 mental faculties. You have been blessed to be given the 6 mental faculties. But how have you been using those 6 mental faculties? Are you born out of fear and doubt? Are you use those 6 mental faculties to imagine more danger as danger approaches? More fearful. You tremble whenever you want to do something and therefore you remain stuck where you are because you don't have a good understanding of who you are. Worry. Chronic worry is called anxiety. What does your body do? This is disintegration. Eventually, there is death. You die slowly each and every day by the thoughts. What are your thoughts like? Dispenza talks of 60,000 thoughts, every individual per day. Take stock of the number of thoughts that go through your mind. Are they on this side of life? Or they are on this side of life? You want to study more. You want to get a deeper understanding of who you are. You want to grow. When your mindset is that of growth, a growth and expansion mindset is the mindset of your true essence. Your true essence being that your spirit. You're a spiritual being. We talked of spirit being for expansion and more complete expression. So someone who studies becomes knowledgeable. On a conscious level, they know more information of how things are moving. They know about the laws. They want to live and get a deep understanding of the laws that govern the universe. The law of giving, the law of compensation, the law of cause and effect, the law of forgiveness. There are plenty of laws. Study. Attend a seminar. Touch a book. Just know the right books to be touching, man. Just know the right books to go to really get a deeper understanding of what these laws are all about. Knowledge of these laws is what was being said when in a Bible verse, when it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. The fear of the Lord, I told you in the beginning that replace the word Lord by law and everything will start making sense. Even if you go back into all the stories about Jesus. Jesus and all the other prophets. The great prophets of this time, even the modern day prophets. What they've gotten a good understanding of is the laws that govern the universe. And so they are prophetic in the way that they're teaching those laws. But it all depends with it. Are you understanding those laws? Do you understand what they mean when they're teaching those laws? Some teach by referring to Bible verses. There's nothing wrong with that. Some teach by referring to science, because there is only two sources of reference: science and theology. You look at the stories of people who have lived a prophetic life, it was more about teaching. No wonder you've got someone who understands these laws. They call themselves prophets. Prophet so and so. He ends up standing in front of people. All they're trying to do is to educate you and alleviate you from poverty, from a poverty mindset. This is poverty right here. You are not brought into this earth to be poor, to suffer lack and limitation. You are brought in here to understand, to study, to know, to grow. Now, when you understand, when you grow, you want to expand. You want to grow. You want to be creative. You grow faith on a subconscious level. Faith based on understanding of the laws and how they govern and operate. Here, you understand that there is abundance. There is infinite supply of resources. Did you know that you miss quite a whole lot of information and a whole lot of help and the resources that you're so looking for because your mind is limited? You start thinking of the things that you do not have instead of starting to think of the things that you do have. So what controls your attitude is your thoughts. Of the 60,000 thoughts that are going through your mind each and every day, what is it that you're thinking of every single day? Take stock of your thoughts every single moment of the time. Who are you hanging around with? What are you talking about? Are you thinking or you're not? Because rightful thinking is thinking of growth and expansion. It's not of lack and limitation. Living in harmony with the law of abundance, the law of supply, is living within growth, is understanding who you are, that you're not bound by any physical barriers. You grow each and every day, each and every time. At the end of the day, you become creative. And when you create, you enjoy life more. More resources are at your disposal. You understand that if you want something, you can go and ask it from someone. If you don't have it, it's there waiting for you to claim it. All you need to do is to understand how to apply the laws. It's an art. You have to go through the whole process of understanding and applying these laws. You have abundance, consciousness. You have people talking here. Abundance. Conscious. Abundance, consciousness. You know everything is right at your disposal. Anything that you need is already here. All you have to do is to use your imaginative, your 6 mental faculties to have it manifest into physical form. Expectation. What do you expect each and every day? Are you expecting anything positive? Or you're always expecting something negative? If you're expecting something negative, don't forget, your thoughts are always of lack and limitation. Your feelings, anxious. Action is that of a diseased someone. They depress, they suppress. At the end of the day, it turns into disease. No wonder there's something called depression. They say if you don't express your feelings, you depress them. You push them all the way down into your subconscious mind. All that being caused by your subconscious programming. So you need to have a clearer picture of what your mindset is like to this very day. How is your mind set? How is your mind set? Has it been set on limitation and poverty? Or it has been set on expansion and growth, creativity and faith, abundance and more supply? Analyze yourself. And if you figure out that your mind has been programmed right here, you need to shift to this side of things. That's what is called a paradigm shift. But do you go at everything at the same damn time? No. Because there are a lot of programs, it's a multitude of programs that you operate with each and every day without any conscious awareness. They've been there through genetics and environment, and they set like that. Now you need to move into growth phase. You need to move from negativity into positivity. Is it an easy job? No, it's not. Can it be done? Yes. But it requires commitment from you. What is it that you are watching? What are you using your what are you using your 5 senses to gather information? What is that music that you're always listening to? Is it good music? Educative? In line with your growth? Or it's destructive and warlike? You see, anything that does not resonate well with your subconscious programming, you tend to instruct your conscious mind to reject. You tend to shut off. As soon as you hear anything that doesn't resonate here, you tend to shut off. Because why? It makes you uncomfortable. It gives you all this and more. The process of growing is not comfortable. All these subconscious programmings are going to have to fight for their chance to exist and to run your life as they've done all this while. As soon as you set yourself to be on this journey, things are going to start happening and unfolding. All these negative feelings, negative stuff are going to come. That's what we explained by the terror barrier stage. You're going to become fearful. You're going to doubt. You're going to worry. All hell will break loose. But the trick is to master fear. Have the courage. Develop the faith through the self-confidence formula that we did in the previous lesson. You repeat the same things. It's called the law of autosuggestion, the law of repetition. You repeat this information over and over and over again. Because the programming of abundance, the programming of faith, of creativity, you didn't come with that programming. You are learning these new programs. You want to write new programs so that they take effect into your subconscious mind and change your actions and your behavior. And then you change your results. Look at your results. You don't need to even understand all these 6 mental faculties, subconscious, conscious mind. It's just for those who are committed to get a deeper understanding of how things operate. All you need to do is look at your results. They'll tell you a good story of where your mind is set. If you feel stuck, incapable, doubt, and worry, your results are bad. You need to make them good. You have to commit to changing your mindset first. Get into a growth mindset by setting up new goals, by using the law of repetition. One programming at a time, one programming at a time, one programming. You work on it, you build your confidence as you go. So that when you face bigger and more challenging circumstances, you know who you are. You know you can weather any storm. Nothing can stop you. You've got faith now, based on an understanding of who you are and the laws that govern the universe. It's no longer an eye for an eye, but you turn the other cheek. Why? Because you know exactly who you are. You let the universe take care of all the rest. We are pre-programmed that if someone comes in and challenges our ego, edging God out. When Dyer talks of edging God out, that's your ego talking. You think you can control everything. In lack and limitation, fear and doubt, disintegration and non-creativity, you tend to think that you can control anything. But the more you get your ego out of the way and let the universal mind take control, as it is in control of your digestion, your breathing, even the way you earn your money. These tend to relate. These mental programs in your subconscious mind, they tend to want to keep you comfortable. Your mind by default doesn't want to think, doesn't want to work, because thinking takes a whole lot of energy. And your mind comes wired in a certain way. No wonder your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions formulate a behavior. Your behavior, chronic behavior, formulate your beliefs. How many things have been handed down to you subconsciously and you believe them without even questioning them, if they are true or not, if they apply to you or not? You simply were introduced to those beliefs and you started believing in them. How many of those belief systems were put into you? How many? Start thinking of those. So you need to make a shift. That's the next lesson that we are going to be talking about. How then do you change your belief systems? I was told religion, best definition of religion is just group habit. People doing the same thing. Their behavior matches. It's just the same behavior over and over and over again. It's just the same behavior over and over and over again. So as we're moving forward, we need to understand that religion is just group behavior. When people continue to do things over and over, they will end up behaving in the same way and sharing the same belief system. You've got to understand that belief systems, what are the belief systems that have been engraved in you? Because you have repeated doing the same things over and over. You see, the same thoughts produces the same feelings, produces the same actions. At the end of the day, you behave in a similar pattern over and over and over. And there is no result that you're going to change if you don't change your behavior. And the starting point to changing your behavior is we started right from the top. What are your thoughts? Do you have better thoughts to now think of? Do you have a better outlet for your energy? That's what we are going to be focusing on when we are now focusing on belief systems. We need to establish what are those belief systems that you have been forced that have been enforced into you as you were growing up, which you were handed over by your parents, and what's the best way to approach them and to change them effectively for permanent behavioral change and permanent results change. Otherwise, if you flip-flop on changing your belief systems, in some instances, you might believe that 100,000 is a lot of money. And if you're in possession of 100,000, then you are rich. Yet, the matter of fact, there are billions and billions of dollars worth to be taken by you if you only change your belief system in as far as what riches mean to you. Some people think that riches are only about, we're talking about money only. But whoever has got health has got riches. They're rich in health. They're successful in the way they govern their relationships. There's richness and love when other things other than money are concerned. So these lessons go into every aspect of people's lives. So on the next lesson that we're going to be talking about, we're going to be seeing what's the best way of changing your belief systems, which is a core paradigm or a core programming that resides within you, that is making you make the decisions that you make today, just because you don't know that they already exist inside of you. So we're going deep into analyzing where they exist, and whoever told you those belief systems, is it verified? But you still operate with those belief systems up to this very day. So up until we meet in the next lesson, cheers, man. Good luck. Why attitude is the most important part of any person to really fix. And it's fixable. I fixed my attitude. I used to be unhappy. I used to be sick and broke. And everywhere I go, I'll be demonstrating and expressing those things because it was all about the thoughts that I was carrying around. And you can't really separate someone's attitude from their thoughts and their feelings. Because once feeling a certain way, you already know where their thoughts are placed. I hope you are now in a position to go and attack and correct exactly that thing which you need to correct, which is your thoughts. Your thoughts are going to have to be staying on the positive side. I know it's a challenge and it's a constant battle. It's an inside constant battle to be fighting with your old self now that you're moving into a new self. But that's where the work is. And I'm happy and grateful and confident that you can fix it. Fix those small little things. Those are the nuggets. Those are the things that guarantee you success.